Welcome to Work It, Live It, Own It, a show that explores how to upgrade your lifestyle through life lessons, real estate, and entrepreneurship. Here's your hostess, Sekola Lair. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Work It, Live It, Own It. I am excited to introduce our guest today, Traci Bermingham. She is the founder of the Business Alignment Method. Traci specializes in helping virtual coaching entrepreneurs streamline their businesses for greater success. Through her 6-month program, she empowers entrepreneurs to reclaim time, build a rockstar team, and scale naturally. So get ready to learn some valuable insights on achieving financial and time freedom. One of my favorites. I love time freedom. So we're going to talk about the business alignment method, overcoming chaos and overwhelm, building rockstar teams, and shifting from reactive to proactive. Welcome, Traci. How are you doing today?
I am so good. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. So, Traci, tell us a little bit about yourself and how building give us your story and what made you want to create the business alignment method and how you implement it in your life.
Yeah, interesting. So I have been a project manager for over 25 years now. I've worked with the big companies, Dalmani, Visa, Charles Schwab, The Gap, Banana Republic, huge companies. And I've helped to probably launch about $1 billion worth of sales and product services into the world. That being said, about 15 years ago, I moved to small town USA, got married, had kids, small town USA. There was no need for corporate project management, big project, multi-year, multi-million dollar launches, anything. And so I had to go virtual. And so I started working with virtual business owners. And what I found over the years was that uh, there's so many gurus that are telling us how to 10x your sales in the next 48 hours and right, like all of these huge marketing and sales guys that are telling you how to do it. And a lot of clients get success from that, and they actually are making sales, they're getting the clients, they're doing all the things, but nobody's really talking about the back end of the business and how do you actually organize your business and how do you actually get stuff done and how do you actually delegate to a team effectively and actually have them do it right the first time. And no one's really talking about this stuff. And so I came in and you know there's so much information out there as well about scaling your business. But what I found and why I created the business alignment method is because if you don't have enough hours in the day and enough bandwidth in the day because you haven't set up the operations and the systems and the structure in your business, there's no way that you can scale. There literally just aren't enough hours in the day to get it done. Nor do you want to, half the time, a lot of my clients were saying, I don't even know if I want to scale because if it's more of what I'm doing,
Right.
I'm out. Like we're at that stage. And for me, I got to a stage where, man, I don't want to work so hard anymore. It's got to get easier at some point, right? I've been hustling for decades now. I just want to set it up and just maybe my clients even like take a vacation. Like some of them haven't taken a vacation for 10 years. Some of them are scared that they're going to get in a car accident and they're not going to be able to work and then everything's going to crumble because they're not there to manage it and keep it going. And so that's how the business alignment method was born, in that it's actually what I do is actually creating the flow state in the business. It's setting up the systems and allowing the work to get done without you having to micromanage it or be on top of it or right, like just you making sure that if you're not on it, it doesn't get done. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about systems, we're talking about structure, we're talking about flow. And it's not something that you magically just achieve. It's something that you actually build into your business to make it operate and run smoothly and efficiently.
Well, I love it because Traci is here to save the day, because I think what a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, even myself, you have these ideas. You're a creator, you're an innovator, you may be a connector, but behind the scenes, okay, well, how do I structure this? How do I map
Mm-hmm.
this out? How do I come up with a system, especially if you're talking about time freedom? And
Mm-hmm.
time for me is invaluable, it's precious. We don't know how much more of it we will have. We just have right now. And I know a lot of people who want to start a business, they have this idea, they want to launch it, but they don't take care of the back office. And I like to call it the sexy back office, because once you get the back office set up, whether it's an SOP manual, who if something was to happen to you, who can step in and run this business for you, who has access to things that they need to make sure that things are tidied up, taken care of, you don't have to worry about that and try and go back and backtrack. But then you're talking about something else too, is once you're in the business, how to set it up, structure it properly. And being a project manager, let me commend you, because I've been a project manager for a web design company, and it's not an easy job. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very task oriented job. You got to stay on top of things. And I know you said you did this for 25 years with some major companies. So kudos to you for that. But
Thank you.
this couldn't have just been easy for you to start off with. Were there some hurdles that you had to personally overcome? Or how did you come up with the idea of, okay, this is how we structure it? Is it because of on the job training or things that you've learned along the way?
I think it's a little bit of both. So I have literally been, my brain's going in a few different directions. So I think that there's you talked about uh people who have ideas and people who are starting businesses and people who have businesses going, and they are visionaries, right?
Right.
Meaning they've got these ideas. They're the ones that change the world. They really are, like, just beautiful brains. I am the one who, you give me your idea and
Hmm.
I see all of the steps needed from start to finish to actually achieve that idea. We are an excellent team
Yes.
there. What I find with my clients a lot, and one of the struggles that my client, and I'll go into mine, but my clients, what I see a lot is that they think that I have been a project manager for 25 years. I have studied this. I have certifications. I literally read 2 to 3 books a week. I have lived and breathed, and I have the experience, I have the knowledge, I have the training, I have the education, all of those things. I have gone all in on this. Literally, it's just getting stuff done. How do you get stuff done in the most efficient, effective, easiest, simplest manner to make the biggest impact? Right?
Right.
If you are a visionary, I have so many clients who think that they, quote, should know how to do this, and so that they don't ask for help. Or
Hmm.
they're embarrassed because it's gotten so bad that they don't they think that everyone else has the answers, everyone else has it figured out, because on the front end everybody looks very put together and very polished and they look like they know what they're doing. I'm telling you now, I have not come across a business that the back end is not a mess
Hmm.
or needs help. Like, it's not even that it's a hot mess, right? Like, if you are if your business is perfectly running smoothly and you have a new idea, you need to create a new system and a new process. It's just part of what is needed in order to make success. So that's what I come across with clients a lot. Literally every client is that they think that they should know it. They're embarrassed at how bad it's gotten,
Hmm.
and they struggle and they don't ask for help and they just keep going, and they're waking up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with all of the to-dos and all of the worries and all of the stuff that, if you put some systems in place and if you found someone that can help you to put those systems into place, it just makes life so much easier. So, yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing.
Yeah, right? For me, it's interesting. I think my struggles in business are a little bit different in that I am an introvert through
Mhm.
and through. I would rather be reading a book than going to a party like any day of the week. And so for me, I think that and I think many operations people, we are the introverts. So we're hard to find sometimes because we're behind the scenes. We're not out there sharing.
Right.
And so that has been something that I have had to work really hard on myself in this is me this our conversation is me getting out there because I think that there are so many people and so many businesses that need help
Mhm.
and that they need this information, they need this knowledge, they need alignment in their business, in their teams, they need to learn how to delegate all of those things that we can help with. And so I think that it's just such an important message that it has to get out there. And so if I'm the one to do it, I'll figure it out, I guess.
You do it. You do it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a misconception, and thank you for sharing your story about that because I'm an introvert as well. And
Mm.
so I we tend to shy away from prestige.
Yep.
Prestige is not a thing. We don't want to be front and center, but we do have this passion and desire to help people. And that's why I created this podcast because I've been able to meet people all around the world, stay in contact with them, learn so many things. So if I know someone who may need assistance with this, hey, I've spoken to this person a few times, talk to them, see if they're a good fit for you. But it also helps me in my business. So thank you for taking the courageous step and putting yourself out there. Because if you have been able to handle projects with companies such as Del Monte and all the other corporations that you've worked with, there is some value to what you have to offer. So thank you for stepping up with that. So you talked about some things as far as business owners not even wanting to be honest and saying that they need help. And a lot of times we find that because we may talk to our fellow business owner friends and they're busy with their businesses, but no one really wants to talk about, oh my goodness, I have this idea, but my launch didn't come out right. Because I used to work with coaches as a virtual assistant
Mhm.
and online business manager. And then they have this idea and they want to launch it in 4 to 6 weeks. And you're like, whoa, 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 back up, back up. We got to do some more planning. So tell
Mhm.
me, Traci, with your business alignment method, how are you able to help entrepreneurs break free from chaos and regain control of their business?
It's a good question. It's not as hard as we think. I always kind of how we go about it. It's kind of like the messy closet,
Mhm.
right? So you've got a closet that you're shoving stuff in there all the time, right? I've got 4 boys. They shove they right? There's shoes, there's soccer balls, there's sweatshirts, there's their jacket, their backpacks, right? It's all shoved in. And then they push that closet door shut as far as they can and they just leave it. And then we walk past it and we do that with our businesses. Same thing, right? Like we just shove stuff in the closet because we don't want to deal with it. It's fine. We'll deal with it later. We just keep shoving stuff in and we just kind of walk by that closet. Maybe we open it really quick and we're worried stuff's going to fall on us. So we shove some more in and close it really quick and just pretend like it's not there. Right. And we do that. But the way to get out of the chaos. That's the chaos, right? That closet is the chaos that is our business. That's the jumble, the mess that we've created. And it is what it is. Like there is no blame here. There is no you don't you don't need to be embarrassed by this. It literally is what it is. You haven't learned what I've learned. You haven't studied what I've studied. You haven't the experience that we have, right? And being able to clean out these messes. But the first thing that we have to do, and it's literally the hardest step, is we got to open up the closet and we got to take it all out. And a
Mhm.
lot of times when you take it all out of the closet, you just make a bigger mess in the room.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's literally there is stuff everywhere. And you're like, how did all of this fit in that closet? How how did it all you just there are no words. But what you can do once you get it all out and it's all spread around and you're looking at what you've got, you can start to put the shoes with the shoes, and you can start to put the sweaters with the sweaters, and the pants with the pants. And you can start to group things together and and then it starts to get a little bit more organized, and you've got everything in spots, and then you can see what is actually working and what's not. Maybe there's some things that need to go to charity that you need to stop doing in your business, right? There's some things that need to be put aside because they're really not making you what you need them, right? They're not the impact is not there, right?
Right.
In what they need to be doing. And so that's where we start. And it's just clearing that out, and it's just step by step and process by process. The cool thing about it though is because it's been so crazy for so long and so chaotic for so long, that a lot of times you feel relief pretty quickly when you
Mhm.
start to put them into place. And it's sometimes it's a big leap, and sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, I've had clients who I had a client at Christmas time who said, I literally went away for an entire week. I was able to completely unplug, and I haven't been able to do that in 18 years. And everything went smoothly. There was not a single issue. There was not a reason to contact. There was nothing. And so having that, or a client who actually broke her arm, and she has a clinic, and she wasn't able to do body work because she had a broken arm. And because we had implemented a uh, semi-passive income stream for her over the last year, her income was not, she can heal and in with peace of mind, and her income has not changed. Right.
That's
So
amazing. Yeah.
there's those sorts of things, but it's about smoothing out and creating those systems. And those are the types of things that we are able to do as operations people, as creating systems and processes. And uh, that's what we're looking to do with our life, right? That's we're trying to take the chaos out of it and just create those simple streams that just work for us, for our lives. I don't believe in work life balance. I don't think there is such a thing. I think it ebbs and flows as things happen. And so we need to be able to incorporate our business into our lives so that everything works harmoniously together.
Yes, absolutely. I was having a conversation with someone about that yesterday. I used to think about work life balance, but I don't think that anymore after having conversations and thinking about it more in depth. Your personal life and your business life is very integral part of each other. There is ups and downs in your personal life. There are going to be ups and downs in your business, but you got to make sure that you're thriving personally in order for your business to thrive. And if you are coming up with some hiccups in your business and you don't know what to do, that's the time to seek help and potentially delegate. Or sometimes it may just be a realistic thing that you may have this vision of a launch, but you got to hold off on it at this moment to get some clarity, some further clarity.
Yeah.
So, what about building rockstar teams? Well, before we even go into rockstar teams, would you consider for coaches one of the best ways for them to do this to scale their business when we're talking about scaling naturally? Is it about creating an online course or group coaching for them as far as to scale their business easier? Because I know a lot of times coaches will start off doing one on one coaching and
Hmm.
then they do group coaching. So, what does the common challenges for virtual entrepreneurs face when it comes to scaling their business naturally?
That's such a good question. So I think it's twofold. The one thing that I think you're touching on, which is so relevant, is again, a lot of times what I see is that we follow the gurus, and the gurus are book yourself solid. Well, the problem is you're now booked solid and you have no time for a vacation. And if you do take a vacation, you lose income because of that. And so a lot of times what we have to do in aligning our business is actually shift our business models. right? And like you said, group coaching, like maybe it's moving into group coaching or it's moving into a, a course, right? Like a pre-recorded course with
Mhm.
group coaching or, different things. So a- as you should, our businesses evolve. Literally, the business world, our world is moving so much faster these days than it ever has before. We need to be able to build business models that can shift and grow. And literally, I know I'm not the same person today that I was 15 years ago when I started doing virtual work.
Mhm.
So, what I built then versus what I would build now are two very different things in the work that I want to do, right? I'm kind of a completely different person in my knowledge, my experience, my growth, everything. We should be able to move into that with grace and ease and flow versus thinking that we have to completely stop one thing and start another or stay stuck in something that we don't
Mhm.
enjoy
Right.
because of that. So I think that that's one, and I totally forgot the question. I went off on that tangent. I had 2 points. What was the first, what was it?
So we were talking about the challenges that virtual entrepreneurs face when they're trying to scale the business naturally. And you touched on that. It may be transitioning to group coaching or it may be setting up a course that can run on autopilot, but then you can be there to say, okay, maybe we'll meet as a group twice a month to answer
Right.
any questions. Or if you have any questions, send them to me. And then when we show up for coaching, we'll call your name and we'll actually do live coaching one-on-one for
Right.
a few minutes so other people can hear. And because a
Yep.
lot of times other people can learn not just from talking, but by listening. So that may be another way to scale the business naturally. Take what you've already created, but put it in another method or model that will make it work for you.
Agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
Okay.
And my second point on that is what I see a lot with clients is that they have the weight of the world on their shoulders right now with everything that they've already committed to doing
Mhm.
in their current business. So scaling, everybody says scale, 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 right? Like that's the thing. And I see my clients a lot of times they come to me and they're like, I want to scale to 7, 8, 9 figures. Okay, do you have the time to do that? Do you have the capacity to do that? They
Mhm.
are so frazzled and the weight of the world is on their shoulders that they think that the next step is that they need to scale. But the problem is that there literally aren't enough hours in the day. Like there it's just not possible. So again, it's streamlining the business, the back office. It's getting that all set. And what happens with that is because all of the time or all of a sudden we like free up their time, right? So like I had uh a client that I was working with that he was working 60 hours a week with just a couple of sessions with him. He started implementing it and went down to 40 hours a week, like just with, I think it was 2 hours of time that we spent and kind of reorganized how he was doing things. He went down, so he saved 20 hours a week. He ended up signing up to do an Ironman, and while he was doing the Ironman, and this is where scaling naturally comes in, he had an idea about a new income stream that he wanted to implement, a new program. And while he was running, he had this idea. And so then he brought it back, and that's what we started implementing. And that's how he was. So that to me is scaling naturally.
Mm.
It's because you have the time, because you have the freedom, because you're not bogged down with the weight of the world on, a lot of times because we're so stuck, we're doing what's like the fire drill or the issue or what's happening right now versus like figuring out what needs to happen in 6 months from now. We can't even handle 6 months because we can barely handle today. And so that's what, to me, that's what scaling naturally means is that because your time is free, because you're lighter, because everything is being handled. And with that, your client satisfaction goes up because they're feeling taken care of also, right? All of these things. So everything smooths out. You have time freedom now. And all of a sudden now you've got a good idea, or you've had this idea for 10 years and now you finally have the time to actually execute it and implement it. And you have the team that's in place. It's the right team. It's the right people in the right seats doing the right things at the right times. You've got those people in place. So then this idea that you had that's been hanging out here for 10 years, all of a sudden you can do it and it's amazing. And so then that's how you start to scale naturally, and that's how you start to grow, and it's based off being inspired and being excited versus being, I have to do this. I have to make more money. I have to push. I have to, right? Like I have to compete. I have to, all of those have tos. Like
Mm,
let's get rid of that and let's do it to where you're inspired, like you're taking inspired action.
right. I love how, because I've had to change how I word things. I don't have to do it. I
I know.
choose to do it, or I get
Mhm.
to do it. It's an opportunity for me. It's not a chore.
Yeah.
And your business should be an opportunity every single day. New opportunities await and are just awaiting for you.
Mhm.
So, and also sometimes when you have the time freedom that we're talking about here, is when you do come up with your best ideas, because you're not
Mhm.
so bogged down with everything. If you think about it, a lot of times we get our best ideas when we're doing what? We're taking a shower, we're doing
Right?
something that's very relaxing. And then all of a sudden, this great idea comes to
Pops up.
mind.
Mhm.
And you record it on your phone if you can't write it down. But then you have someone like you that, hey, I got this idea. Do you think that this will work? How can we make it work? You need that person who's great with systems to set yourself up. You mentioned teams recently
Mhm.
in this last part. Can you share with us some key strategies for building a rockstar team when you're ready at that point in your business, and how fostering alignment with a virtual work environment? How can you do that when it comes to building a team? Because I hear people all the time, my team helps me do this. When do you know you're ready? First of all, when do you know when you're ready for a team? When would you suggest to your clients, okay, now I think it's a great time for you to get a team to help you implement this?
Right now.
Right now? Any
Yeah.
phase?
Any phase.
Okay.
And what I would recommend starting with
Mhm.
is because Dan Martel wrote the book Buy Back Your Time. It's excellent. And one of the things, and it's so brilliant how he put this, but and I've used it, just didn't realize I was using it for years, right? But basically what he says is start with admin. And what you do is you bring on an admin person, give them those tasks that can be done. But what you do is you now have freed up some of your time, let's say an hour, right? That you freed up, you've given, let's say your inbox, right? You check your inbox, you respond to emails about an hour a day. Give that to your virtual assistant, have them do that for an hour. You then take that hour and you replace that with a higher level task. Meaning, maybe you do lead generation. Maybe you start calling people asking for working on sales, right? Maybe you do a podcast right to do marketing. Maybe you create that program that's going to bring in the additional income, right? So and doing that constantly. So then by doing those higher level um, tasks, you now in theory will have additional clients coming in, additional sales coming in because you've been spending more time on the things that matter versus the things that need to get done. Then you replace 2 hours. And so you give your virtual assistant 2 hours of time, right? That they're working on stuff. And then you replace that. It doesn't need to be, I think a lot of us think that when we're starting a team that we need to be able to hire somebody full time at, 6 figures in order to get anybody good. I'm telling you, you can start exactly where you are. You can put it out there of this is what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for somebody an hour a week and I need you to help me with this.
Mm.
I can pay this. And someone else will be, yes, that is exactly what I need. Right. And like it's a lovely exchange, and it's great for both parties. And let's go, let's do this, And so by doing that over and over and over again and replacing the time and then working your way up, right? So after you've given admin tasks over, you're probably ready to start with delivery, client delivery, right? So then you can start having them work with clients, having them fulfill orders or, whatever that may be. And you just go up the ladder, as you go and bringing people on. But it doesn't have to be like one day you don't have a team and the other day you do, and you've got all of this overhead and you're freaking out and it's stressful. And I don't, I don't recommend doing it. It's stressful. It's not fun. It's, but if you were to do it just in increments, um, it's amazing, and you will grow faster than you ever thought possible.
I like how you said started off small. It could be an hour a week because what I was thinking, what if there's entrepreneurs out there that say, hey, look, I'm just starting out in business. I'm doing everything myself and I don't have the revenue or it's not in my budget at this time to take on a team. Because when you hear team, you're thinking multiple people.
Yep.
So where would they go to actually start getting a team? Would it be with you? Do you have people that you could recommend? Or would you recommend them going to certain platforms such as
I
Fiverr or
do.
whatever?
I do. My favorite that I look for is Upwork
Okay.
for virtual team members. I have found excellent virtual team members there. And so it's and literally I state what works for me,
Mhm.
and I trust that the people that are applying, that it's going to work for them. Right. So I
Okay.
think we get a lot in our heads of, well, they're going to want $75 an hour. I can't pay them $75 an hour. Well, then that's not who you're looking for. Say, I can pay $10 an hour. I can pay $25 an hour. I've got this project. I can pay $100 from start to finish to do this. Is there anyone who would like to do it?
Mhm.
And if they come back and say yes, then you're golden.
Okay.
And so it can just be, you can put it out there and let them respond to you. Like, and when you're just starting out, I think a lot of time, the world is a much smaller place than it ever was before. And so there are people all over the world that are available and wonderful for, the projects and the work that you need done. And so by putting it out there and just saying, this is what I can do.
Mhm.
Is anyone interested? You will get people back,
Right.
and you could just, kind of make a match.
I love it. Well, thank you, Traci. Before you go, I just wanted to say I was giving Traci some commendation about her website. It's goaldi.com, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Goldie. So I'm all about
Goldie.
goals. I'm all
See,
about
I'm thinking
choosing your life.
I should have asked first because when I saw it, I'm thinking Aldi like that.
Right? Right?
But it's
Everybody says it. It's like I should have thought about it before. I did this 15 years ago, right? Like I should have thought about that before, but I'm all about goals. I'm all about choosing your life.
so let me spell that out. GOALDI,
Dot
correct?
com.
.com.
Yep. You got it.
Goldie. Goldie. Got it.
Yep.
And
You got
guys,
it.
if you go check out her website, it's so cheerful. When I saw it, I was like, oh. And I love it. And it's streamlined, it's simple. And I have to tell you, for someone who used to design their own websites, I don't have the bandwidth now because time is precious to me to
Mhm.
do my own websites, but it is straight to the point. And that gave me great insight into you and how you run your business because it was like, okay, this is where I need to go. This is the information I need to know. It's not full of words. It's not a bunch of great. I mean, the pictures are great. However, it takes me exactly to where I need to go and it helps me answer the questions that I have about your business. So before I let you go, though, two rapid fire questions for you.
Mhm.
What is your favorite productivity hack or time saving tool that you swear by?
My favorite is loom.com.
Loom.com. And for those who are not familiar with Loom, tell us about it.
This is how I delegate. So basically, what I do is when I'm doing a task, I record myself doing that task. So let's say I need to get a blog post out. I will record myself putting out a blog post saying, I click here, then I do this. This is where I put the title. This is where this is the button I click. This is where I go. This is how I schedule it. And I record myself doing it. And then I give that to the person, my VA, whoever's going to be doing that task. And I give that video to them so they can do it exactly how I want it done. And it's literally and I only do it when I'm doing the task, right? So I don't take extra time. It's just when I'm doing the task. And I have a library of tasks with the videos that I've already recorded included over time. So if that VA were ever to leave, I don't even have to train. I just grab the video that I've already created and I hand that over to them.
Spoken like a true project manager, because that's what I used to do as part.
Yeah.
What I used to do is just pre-record and say, this is how you set this up, walk them step by step. That behind the scenes things that helps you streamline your business. Love it, loom.com. And if you could have dinner with any entrepreneur, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Really good question. I think it would be Oprah.
Okay. Why?
I think it would be Oprah. Because so it's so funny. So I don't know if it was an interview or I read an article a little bit ago where she was talking about her day. And her day consisted of her waking up and she took the dogs for a walk and she had some tea and she had breakfast and then she did a couple of like online meetings and then she went back and I just thought that this is a mega billionaire entrepreneur and she has like the time freedom, the financial freedom. She has figured it out to like exponential degree. And so I think that I would love to pick her brain about how she did, right? Like how that looks, right? How does that look with I mean, that, what thousands of people that she employs, and she spends her days taking walks and drinking tea,
But
right? Like
she's got
it's
a team.
and she's exactly, but that's like right, the operations, like that is delegation to mind-blowing levels, right? And just that to me is success, to be able to live your life how you want to live your life every single day. And so I think that's fantastic. So that's who I would choose.
Awesome. Now, Traci, on your website, goldie.com, you have what you call the free business alignment assessment. Can you tell us a little bit about that for those who may want to go over and see if they are a good fit for the business alignment method?
Sure. The business alignment assessment is just, I say that I help you to take your business from a hot mess to a hell yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And depending on where you are on the scale of hot mess to hell yes, this assessment will help you. So it'll give you can take the test, take the assessment, and just kind of see where you fall. And then it'll give you an assessment basically at the end that just will give you some tips and some guidance on where to start. Because a lot of times it's like, where do we even start? It's such a mess. I don't even know. And so by taking the assessment, it'll help you to see where you are, where to start. And if you'd like help, we're there to help too.
Okay, great. And what is the best way for the Work It, Live It, Own It community to stay in touch with you?
Great question. I would say go to my website. Go to my website, goldie.com. We've got email there. You can book a call, get some guidance or some feedback, anything that you need. So that would be the greatest, easiest place to go.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Traci, for coming on to the Work It, Live It, Own It podcast. It was such a pleasure to have you. Love your energy and your enthusiasm for what you do and how you help your clients. And guys, we are never alone. We are never an island when it comes to our life or in business. So we have family, we have friends. Why can't it be the same when it comes to our business and having a team and learning how to scale and streamline our business so that way we can continue to do the things that we love. Well, that wraps it up for this particular episode. And please, above all, don't forget to work it, live it, own it in your everyday lives. Take care, guys.